All right, hey, welcome back. Day number 6. Vic here, back with you again. I hope you are doing awesome, my friend. How are you? Listen, we're almost halfway through the program, right? And so far we have been learning a lot, and it's important. When you build when you build a foundation for something giant, for a skyscraper, you want to make sure that the foundation is laid correctly, right? So starting today, we're turning the corner a little bit, and we're going to be putting everything together. Yesterday Jason walked you through the creation of the landing page, right? And how do you, the white space and the balancing of the landing page to make sure that you understand what goes on behind the scenes. And that's very, very important. What we are doing starting today is we're taking all the knowledge that we have been going through, right? And everything that we've been learning up to this point over the last 5 days. And we're bringing everything together, and we're actually constructing our own custom funnel, and it's very, very exciting. Make sure that you pay attention to what we're going to do today. Follow along. It's very, very simple. I'm going to take a complex subject, right, and task, and I'm going to try to simplify it for you and make it as simple as possible, so that you can follow along. You can model with, and just literally follow along with us here as Mark and Chris and myself. We're going to do this. And you can run with us. It's going to be very, very easy. I promise you. If you follow along, you'll have no problems doing what we're doing. All right? So let's get into it. We have Mark and Chris. How are you guys?
Good. How are you doing?
How are you?
Awesome. Another day, another, I'm doing awesome. I'm pumped up because we're going to be talking about creating our funnel. And this is where the rubber, meets the road, so to speak, right? So let me get, just like with anything, we have specific outcomes for every single day. And so today, here is what we're going to do. We're actually going to, there's a lot to get through today, right? So, but I don't want to cut any corners, and I won't, okay? With you guys, same thing with you, my friend. We're not going to cut any corners. I want to make sure you guys get this, and we're going to do this together, all right? Here is the outcome for today. Before today is over, we are going to turn our campaign blueprint, right, that we created a couple days ago,
right,
into the actual custom strategic funnel. And we're going to build this funnel from scratch. Okay, we're going to do it together. We're going to do it together with you as well, so you'll have no problem doing this. And of course, we're going to be using SiteSuite. Second thing, what we're going to do is we are going to create what's called opt-in landing pages. These are going to be our front. Consider this as like a door to your funnel. Okay, a door to your world. It's very, very important. And one of the things that I want to do is create multiple versions of landing pages, and we're going to do it together. So it's going to be pretty easy for you, my friend, to follow along as well, because you will see every single click I will make on the computer. Number 3 is we are going to get ourselves a domain name, and you don't have to worry about what that means. You guys never done that before. That's okay. But we're going to pick the domain name, and then we are going to link that domain name to a funnel. Okay, and I'm going to explain to you how that works and why we need to do that. And finally, we're going to set up what's called a funnel default homepage. Okay. So when somebody goes to your domain, for example, markbarley.com, right? Where do you want them to end up? And so we're going to get all that set up, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited. I am ready to go. Now, why do we need to do this? Let me show you guys. This is important. Okay, very, very important. So you remember this diagram, right, from a couple of days ago? Do you remember this, right? Should look familiar to you. Listen, if you have been following these days in order that we're doing them, which you should be, if you are here at this, got to this point, this should look familiar to you. If you missed out, if you like looking at this, and you're like, what is this, Vic? That means you missed something. You want to go back and you want to review it, okay? But 3 levels of marketing, right? We talked about how amateurs get traffic directly to the landing page or the offer that they're promoting, which is a bad direction to go. Professionals, they're building their own little world, okay, before they'll transfer that subscriber to the offer page. And then authoritative approach is you own what you promote, but you build it within, this realm right here, okay? So what we're going to do today, you guys, is we're going to take and we're going to build this world right here.
Great.
Okay? And then we're going to expand it as we go on. So before we start sending traffic, which is going to be, probably going to a couple days or so, before we start sending traffic anywhere, we want to make sure that this is done, it's solid, it's tested, it's working, and then we just funnel it with traffic. And the idea is to have you guys make money.
Great.
That's right.
Before the 14 days is over.
Sounds good.
All
Great.
right. Listen, you ready to go? Let's go ahead and dive into this. There's going to be a lot of hands-on training, and it's going to be like a workshop style. So I will show you everything that is on my computer screen, right? And Mark and Chris, what I think the best thing for us to do, here's the thing, is you guys are going through this program as we're developing it, right? And you, my friend, watching us right here, you like virtually with us in the room, but to condense everything, to save the time, and to be as efficient and as effective as possible, what we're going to do is I think that it's going to be best for us to work together on your accounts, because you guys are, let's kind of recap real quick. So you are an elite member of H.TA Academy.
Yes.
You got all the tools that we told you to get, right?
Of course.
So you guys all ready to go. So you have all the accounts necessary. I'm just going to work with you using your accounts.
Okay.
Okay. This way I think we're going to save some time. And then, you, my friend, watching us right here, you can just literally watch what we're doing and just follow along. Pretty simple, right? So first thing I'm going to do is, for me to build that world, it's going to start with us using a system. And the system that we use is called SiteSuite. Okay, I told you guys that, you get it free with H.TA Academy Elite membership. So what I will do, Mark, is go ahead and log in here, if you would, for me.
Sure.
Into the SiteSuite account. And we're doing this live, of course, so we're not going to, none of this stuff is going to be edited, maybe just outside of, Mark's private information, like the email and personal contact information, that kind of stuff. We don't want people to blow up Mark's inbox.
No, we don't want
No, we don't want that.
There's a lot of people watching this right now. While Mark is doing that, let me talk to you for a second, my friend. Listen, I don't know your level of commitment, and the reason, or the fact that you are here right now watching us on day 6, did you know that most people in life, right, most people who are failures in life, they'll never stick through anything, past like 2 or 3 days, right? If there is like a 14-day or a 30-day program, most people who are 98%ers is what I call them, right? They never get what they really want. They're just talking about it, but they never get it. Those people will basically, typically fall off in like 2nd or 3rd, maybe 4th day at the most. You are still here. That tells me that you're serious. Congratulations, okay? Continue to go through this. We're about halfway mark, almost halfway mark, okay? We're almost there. In the next 8 days, the agenda is to help you making money, okay? I'm excited. All right, so Mark, you've got yourself logged into SiteSuite. Looks like you've been playing with this for a little bit right now, right?
I cheated, yeah.
Already? What do you think of this?
It's great.
I mean, you were just like playing with this by yourself, just clicking around?
Yeah, I need some instruction, I think, but so far it seems pretty easy to use. So
Cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome.
A lot of ideas flowing already.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk you guys through this. I'm going to talk it through as well. Okay. So people watching this, I want to have I want to make sure that we have it built, obviously, before we start trying traffic. But at the same time, I want to make sure that you guys have a clear understanding why we do what we do, right? So that you can repeat the process. Same thing with you, my friend. So you can repeat the process. We are going to start a brand new funnel. Okay. Let me go ahead and do this. Go full screen. And I'm going to click this little plus sign. That should look familiar to you, right? You played with that. And we're going to start a brand new funnel. Now, when I say a funnel, I'm going to basically map out my entire business, you guys, right, on a canvas. And that's what's really, really cool about SiteSuite that no other, funnel building software and system does, is this system allows us to literally build our entire business on a canvas so we can see it. And because this is a custom, promotion that we're doing, this is a custom project, we're going to build it from scratch. So here, see, I can have different funnel templates. I can go from anything from basic to, intermediate to advanced. I mean, I can, if I just want to build a funnel that's going to consist of, let's say, an opt-in page here and a thank you page, I just pick this one, right? If I wanted to get something that's, let me just give you guys an idea what's possible here, like really, really get crazy with this, right?
Wow.
And really have a lot of fun, I can go for something like this, and I can create my entire say if I click on this funnel here, for example, again, this is super advanced and we're not going to use it for now anyways, but this will give you an idea of what's possible, right, to what you can do. Like this can be your entire business on the canvas, and all you need to do is just fill in the blanks. So all we're going to do here today is we're going to create it from scratch, okay? I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to select this empty build from scratch funnel, okay? You following along, my friend? Right? Empty funnel. I'm going to select this template, and we are going to create a custom funnel based on what we need, okay? Based on that worksheet that we filled out a couple days ago. So right here, this is our business right now, okay? It's blank. There is nothing on it, okay? Right. The first thing we're going to do is, we're just going to consult this diagram right here. We're going to create this, okay? The first thing here is what, Mark?
Traffic.
Traffic. Okay, so there's different traffic sources. You know, each of these arrows, represent a traffic source. So we're going to go here and click on, see it says traffic sources here?
No. There you go.
Okay, see that? Okay, traffic sources. I'm going to click on that, and here I can select different traffic sources that I can, that I think I'm going to use. Okay, these can change at any time later, and this is so much fun. Listen, if you're about to see something that is really, 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 really awesome, okay, as we're building this from scratch. So let's say I'm going to get traffic from Facebook, a pretty popular platform. We would be kind of foolish not to use it, which will utilize Facebook. I'm going to simply, look, what I'm going to do, and for you, my friend, watching this, look, I'm just going to click on it, and I'm going to drag it to the canvas, and I'm going to let it go, right? Boom. See, just like that. Then I'm going to do email traffic, okay? We're going to go to perhaps a Click Promise Network. When we get to traffic, we'll talk about it, but I will certainly use email traffic because this is a low-hanging fruit. It's really, really fast. It's really easy to get. I'm going to just drag it and put it there, okay? Go back to my traffic sources, and let's say if I want to do, maybe perhaps some kind of, banner media or something like that, I can, I'm just going to drag other traffic sources, which I can name later when we get to it, okay? And of course, I can add as many traffic sources as I possibly want, okay? Right. It's unlimited. You can add as many as you want. So for now, we're just going to stick with 3, okay? Now, next, going back to our little diagram here, what do we have?
Landing page.
A landing page. You're learning, Chris. That's good, all right? So landing page. Now, what's a landing page? What's the purpose of a landing page?
Relates to your traffic or grabs their attention.
Okay. And what is it designed to do specifically for you?
I think in this case what we're trying to do is create a headline that grabs their attention, and then get their email address, have them opt in.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. This becomes a door to our entire universe that we're building here, right? This is our door. And when they opt in, they will go to our list, which will connect and set it up over the next, today and tomorrow as well. Okay, and then we're going to take them through the process there. Okay, so next step in the funnel here is go back, is we need to create a landing page. So all I'm going to do, look, see it says pages, right? I'm going to click on pages tab, and here it gives me options for different pages that I can create within the system. So if I'm looking for a lead capture page, it's this one right here. I'm going to click it, I'm going to drag it and drop it. Boom, just like that. Okay. Now next, after that page, typically when they opt in, they have to go to what's called a thank you page. Okay, so somebody opted in, their email will be added to your autoresponder, to your list that we created yesterday or day before yesterday. And then at the same time, we need to redirect them to a thank you page, right? To another page that's going to say, hey, thank you for opting in or subscribing or requesting more information, and then take them through the process. So thank you page is important. Okay, I'm going to see it says thank you page, just grab it, drop it here. Boom, thank you page. Okay, now, so far so good, right? Thank you page is actually a part of this process right here. Okay, this is the first page that they go through after they opted in, and of course they'll be added to our list. Now, see, there's other pages behind this one, right? See, this is my system. This is you guys. This is what makes me, or helps me and allows me to make a lot of money in this industry, is understanding how to construct this properly. Okay, super, super, super important. Now, these pages I call their content pages. Okay, if you recall a couple of days ago when we did that campaign blueprint, there was something called the journey, right? And there was 4 sections we talked about the journey. And as a matter of fact, if you don't have your sheet with you there, pull it out, right? You'll see on the bottom it says there's going to be 4 steps we're going to take them through the journey, and it's designed to help us get closer to our prospects, right? Give them value, bond with them, and bring them into our universe. It creates it creates you and turns you into this magnetic persona online, right? If done properly. So we need those pages. We don't need them today, necessarily, but we need them for, the first, probably, right after we start running traffic and getting those subscribers, we'll come back to them. But because it's in the blueprint, I want to include it in my campaign structure, okay? So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to pages here, and I will select content page, okay? I'm going to drop the content page here. And there was, if you guys recall, the journey consisted of 4 steps, 4 milestones, so to speak, right? I typically would like to start with 4, okay? Now, my friend, if you're watching this, if you have never done anything like this before, okay, it's going to be very, very simple, okay? It's not necessarily easy. Listen, if this was easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would be millionaires, but it's simple. Okay, it's understanding the principle, it's understanding the strategy, and working with the strategy and just implementing it. And the reason I wanted to capture everything on screen for you is so that there is no room for error. Does that make sense? And then as an Elite member, you guys are Elite members, hopefully you are an Elite member, we take this and we go in even further in our Elite-only trainings. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about how that works and everything. So listen, all I'm going to tell you right now is just watch what I do and do that. Right? Pause the video and just follow along. You should be fine. Okay? All right, so I'm going to put 4 content pages. I'm going to make them a little bit smaller, just like that. So I don't have to scroll. All right, number 1, number 2. Let's make them a little bit smaller here, like that. Number 3. Okay, and we'll get one more, number 4. These will become very, very important pieces of our funnel, of our strategic selling system. Okay, now we need to, again, going back to our diagram here, so we just created this, okay, at least outline the pages. Now we have to do something here, right? So there'll be going to our list, which is our campaign, right, for this particular system. So what I will do here in SiteSuite, and this is really, really awesome, you guys. See, I can go and I can say, see this actions and scripts? I'm going to click on that. See, it says email sequence. Okay. Email sequence. I will drag it and drop it. So that basically means that I have my skeleton of my system just outlined here. Okay, so I can see all the pieces of the equation, right? Now, next, I need to connect these somehow, right? So how does this all connect and how do we make it work? Well, if you're building this yourself, you have to know HTML, you have to code, you have to do the PHP coding and all that stuff. I personally, I could care less about that. I can't code a page, right? Nor do I care because I can do something like this. Right. Now, you can hire somebody to do it for you. Probably going to be really expensive. SiteSuite does it with ease. Look at this. Right. So how do I go when somebody visits Facebook, right? My Facebook link, and I want to send them to the thank you page, right? Look, see this little arrow? I'm going to take it and I'm going to drag it and connect and drop. Boom. Okay? See that? Same thing with email traffic. Boom. Connected. All right? Boom. So basically I'm telling people if they're coming from Facebook, okay, this traffic will go straight to this landing page right here. Okay? How awesome is that, right? No need to code, no need to know HTML or any of the, coding or programming, language at all. So now, when they opt in here, where do we want them to go? Okay? With the whole visual interface here, everything is on canvas, I just basically decide where I want to send them to. So when they opted in here, I want them to go to my email sequence, right? So I'm going to connect it here. I'm going to grab the arrow and I'm going to connect it to the email sequence. Okay, perfect. Got it there. And then at the same time, I also want to connect them and send them to a thank you page. So I'm just going to do that, right? How easy is that, right? You getting excited yet? All right. This is just the beginning. This is only the beginning. Now, check it out. When they are in my email sequence, this is my list right here. This is where I'm building my list, right? I'm going to nurture those people. I'm going to give them value. I'm going to communicate with them later on. And we're going to do it together. I'm going to walk you through every single step of the process. We need to be able to send them at one point in time to these content pages, right? To those 4 steps. How do we do that? Just like we connected the rest of the pages, I'm going to drag and drop, okay? And one of the days, I'm going to send them to content number 1. A little bit later on, you know, maybe in the second week or something, content number 2, and so forth. So we just connected.
So this would be a link inside of that email that you sent them. They click on it and land on that page.
You got it, Mark. You got it. Why do we need this? I'm going to tell you why do we need this, okay? I'm going to go into, you don't have this turned on, but I'm going to go to your account. I'm going to go this Math Scientist only. See, it says built-in tracking. I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to click on OK. And then when we come back, okay, I need to name the funnel, by the way. So I'm going to name this funnel. I'm going to say Project Breakthrough. Okay? I'm going to name it. I'm going to go back to the dashboard. Now here's my Project Breakthrough funnel that we just created. Okay, I'm going to come back. Now see this button popped up called Stats? Now look what happens. When I click on the Stats button, right, what the system is going to do is to say, hey, select your date range. Let's say I wanted to see how many visitors, how many conversions, you know, what's going on in my business, and I just select the date range. Of course, we don't have any traffic fitting here yet, but immediately I can see how many visitors I've got from Facebook, you know, what percentage of them opted into the landing page, how many visitors I got to the landing page from each one of these traffic sources, how many opted into the email, how many went to the, you know, to this page, this page, this page. Everything is on the canvas, you know, in front of me right now, okay? There is no other system in the online marketing space that gives you this type of visual for your entire business. Okay?
Really cool.
That is awesome. Now, what we're going to do here is we are going to create multiple landing pages. I'm going to hide my stats so I don't have to mess around with them. Okay? I want to create multiple landing pages. Let me tell you guys why. Remember I told you to get one of the assignments, I think a couple days ago, was for you to get the tracking, traffic tracking tool, right? And you guys got it, called ClickMagick. The reason for that is because we want to be able to split test and rotate, right, and optimize our traffic. If I'm getting traffic to this landing page, which we're going to create here in a moment, and this landing page is not really resonating, or maybe it's not converting as good, right? I don't want to lose any traffic whatsoever. So I want to always have my traffic going to at least 2 or 3 different landing pages at the same time, okay? So I can take a look which one is converting the most, and I keep it, and then the one that's converting the least, I remove it, right? And I always optimize my system. It's very, very important. Very few people do that, but I always want to outperform myself, right? And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to build this like it needs to be built, and I want to show you how to do that too, okay? Now, I'm going to send these traffic sources to this landing page, but I'm also going to add another landing page here. So I'm going to go to Pages and drag another landing page, okay? Just like that. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to drag another one. So I'm going to work with 3 different landing pages. I have 3 different traffic sources, right? So I'm going to drag 3 different landing pages. For example, if I target Facebook, okay, I might have one of these landing pages be specific for Facebook, okay? So it might be, you know, maybe this landing page is going to be for email traffic only, and maybe I do Google PPC later. You know, you guys are elite members. You will learn about, and obviously you're members of HTA Academy. We teach traffic, so we teach a lot of different traffic sources. There's, you know, if you want to become really good at pay-per-click marketing, for example, well, you need a landing page that will be Google compliant, right? Not necessarily something that's going to work for email is going to work for Google PPC. So that's the reason I want to have multiple, right? And so we'll play with it, and we'll tweak the system later on as we go as well. But our lowest hanging fruit right now is we're going to create 3. I'm going to roll with them. So when we send traffic, we have pages to work with, okay? So same thing here. I can, I'm able to connect these landing pages. But what I will do is I will do this right here, you guys. Okay, I'm going to go to traffic sources, and I will do same traffic sources, okay, per landing page. And the reason I'm going to do that is so that I can rotate the links. I'm going to explain it to you once we actually set it up and start, activating it. Everything's going to make sense to you.
Okay.
But I'm going to send same traffic sources to, to different links or different landing pages. I'm going to pull each one of those 3 links, right? For example, I'll set it up and I'll explain it to you. I'm going to do email marketing, okay, just like with the first one, and then I'll do other. Other can be anything, okay? So that's that one, and I'll connect these here. I'll explain to you the theory behind that in a minute here, okay? So the reason for that is because I can take a Facebook link, okay, which will generate here when we start drawing traffic. I'll take this link, and I'll take this link, and I'm going to put them on a rotator. And this link will go to this page, and this link will go to this page. And I don't have to promote 2 separate links. I'll promote one link, which is a rotator link, and it's going to basically rotate evenly between these pages, right, which are unique URLs or unique streams of traffic. And then I'll see which one of these will perform the best. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
And so I will do the same process for a third one, and I'll have 3 landing pages converting and rotating per each traffic source. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be like mad scientists over here, split testing things and working with things. It's going to be a lot of fun. So it's very, very simple process. You're following me, right? So 3 separate traffic sources per landing page, and I'm going to replicate it 3 times. Okay, I can move this one up here a little bit.
So Vic, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So how long would you typically let a campaign run when you're testing between different landing pages to see, if you've given it enough time to actually perform?
I'm not necessarily looking for time. I'm looking for the amount of traffic that I sent.
Okay.
So yeah, typically to get a good test, I want to send a few hundred visitors to a page to really get a good idea for the conversions.
Okay.
So if I got 5 visitors, it's not really enough data for me to to establish whether it's good or not. But if I have 300 visitors, for example, then it gives me a good idea whether how well it converts. Make sense? So we're going to go after getting enough data rather than time. Good question. All right, so I just wanted to compress those a little bit. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to set this up. This will become very, very important part in our business. And again, my friend, if you're watching here right now, right, if you should be an Elite member. If you're an Elite member, follow along. Just pause the video, do what I do. I wanted to keep it as simple as possible for you. We have some tremendous programs here and trainings inside of N.I.T.Academy. And one thing that we are really, really good at is teaching people, sometimes complex things in a way that's really, really easy to understand. So that's one of the things that I can assure you of. If you just pay attention and model, be a good modeler. Okay, that's it. As I'm doing this, sometimes I can't talk and work at the same time, so forgive me. It's fun. So Mark, look, we're gonna do this same process for the 3rd landing page, right? Any questions so far?
No.
Okay.
It's easy.
Very clear.
Very clear. Now, check it out. We have a thank you page for this particular landing page, right? Now, I would like to typically have a thank you page, a specific thank you page that's specifically for that particular landing page. Okay? So there is congruency. I want if somebody sees, this landing page is got a background picture of, a family in the background, right? I want this thank you page to be an extension of that. I want it to be congruent. And if this one is targeting, let's say for example, this page is going to target people who want to work from home, and this page is going to target people who are, family oriented, and there is different themes, there is different messages. I want thank you page to be congruent and kind of like an extension, so it makes sense, right? So I'm going to drop and add 2 more thank you pages to the funnel here. Okay, and look, all we need to do is connect this page to this thank you page, and then the same thing for the 3rd one, just like that. Okay, shiki boom, bada boom, as we like to say here. in our secret headquarters, right? And Jason would say, snap, crackle, pop. All right, so now, we still have our main autoresponder, our main email sequence, right? So I don't need to have, these can be separate or they can be together, okay? The way we're going to do them is we're going to keep these generic enough so that we can deliver value equally to people all across the board on our list. Okay, so you know they're looking for how do I make money from home, or I'm a family, I want to make money for family. So they're still in the same bucket, so to speak, right, in the same pool, and we're going to keep those the same there. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this landing page to the same email sequence and this landing page to the same email sequence as well. Okay, and you guys, we just created a skeleton for our funnel. Okay,
Fast and easy.
That's amazing how easy it is.
it is easy, huh?
Yeah.
And it didn't take long
No,
either.
no,
And
not at
this is me explaining this to you. Now, if I was to to program this, see when I connect that arrow, what the system is doing is it's taking the code from this page and this traffic source and all these, and it just does what it does in the background with the code and literally writes a script for me, and I can do that and I can change it with a click of a mouse. And what's really, really cool is, let's say if I wanted to send, if I didn't, if I wanted to remove this particular traffic source, I just X it out. So if I wanted to, so basically what we just did, you guys, is we just took like a developer's, what would take a developer like literally, maybe a good 4 or 5 days of coding, and we just created that in like 10 minutes. Wow. Okay, the power of SiteSuite. That's why I was telling you to get SiteSuite, right? And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Now, we need to fill this out, and we need to actually create these pages, okay? The cool thing about doing that is all I need to do is double-click on this particular page. It opens up this template library, okay? And I can view all templates here. We've got 140 templates that's pre-built already, okay, for us. So all I can do is I'm just going to scroll down, and you can just basically pick and choose which one you want to use for that particular page, and then you can add it to your heart content. Okay. And so one of the templates here, let's just scroll through this. For Project Breakthrough, I want to have different angles. I want to have a video version, which, by the way, I'm going to make you guys do a video. Have you ever done video in your life?
No, I mean, like our family.
Like family, but like being on camera talking to people through the video camera? No?
No.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're gonna capture this too, and you've got the video guys here. We're actually going to capture every single step, so you get to see everything, all their, the good, the bad, and everything in between. We'll capture everything on screen. It's going to be fun. All right, let me scroll down here. The first template that I'm going to work with is going to be, let me take a look. There was one that I liked that I wanted to edit. Okay, EWB. Okay, I'm going to grab this template here so we can preview it, see how it looks. Okay, it's a very elegant, very simple, direct to the point. This will work really, really well for like email traffic. Okay, it's not Google compliant. Okay, and we're not going to be doing pay-per-click yet. We're going to get into that later on as we expand and scale your business. So we're gonna go after the lowest hanging fruit right now. When we'll get to traffic generation, you guys, we're gonna show you traffic generation methods that will get you the results fast. Okay, same thing with you. And then as we're getting results and as we're moving forward and we're getting that money coming in, right? Then we're gonna be expanding, we're gonna be scaling, leveraging, and taking our business to yet another level. So this looks good to me. I will use this template. Click on the button, use the template. And the system is going to do what it does in the background, boom, 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 build, boom, there's my page, okay? And so I'm going to edit that page. Let's start with editing this first page, okay? To edit it, I'm just going to double click on it. Double click, and now it's going to take me into the editor, okay? See, I don't have to know any HTML code. I can just close this tour. I don't have to know any of the HTML code or anything like that. I can just basically, it says, enter pre-headline here, right? So what I wanted to say. We can say something like, let's say if our main headline is going to be, we can say something like, just we'll do this on the spot here. So I'm going to say project breakthrough. Actually, I'm going to do single quote here. Project breakthrough. What's the, so you guys got the campaign blueprint, okay? Let's take a look at the campaign blueprint here, okay? We've got some headlines. We've got earn commissions in 14 days. Okay, understand how you did it again. Scale and leverage. So these are the top 3 benefits that we filled in. Okay, first time breaking news, we can do the industry. Okay, so I can say something for headline. Let's say, what if we said, I'll make your life easier, okay, by doing it with you, just because I don't want to take too much time, for you to redo this. But when you guys get the point, you'll be able to recreate it when you get home tonight.
Okay,
one of your assignments is going to be basically to recreate the same funnel for yourself.
Great.
Okay, you basically make a copy of it. So I'm going to say something like project breakthrough, right? And how to very easily start earning. Again, I'm targeting somebody who wants to start earning money fast, right? Real money online in 14 days or less. Okay, I can say or be capital. Okay, so we just popped in this headline in there, right? Looks pretty easy, looks pretty good. Now it doesn't look right to me. Okay, I typically don't want to have headlines that are like 3-liners. I wanted to condense it. So here's one of my options. Okay, I can grab this and I can change the font on it. That's the first thing that I would do. Okay, I like the headline, but I want it to be, see if I can fit it in 2 lines. Okay, I can change the font, and let's say if I went, let's go impact. And I can preview it, okay? See this little eye over here?
Yeah.
If I click on it, it's going to open up in the actual page, and it's going to give me a preview of how it's going to look like. Okay? So I still have 3 lines here. I don't like the 3 lines, so I will close the preview, and I will, let's take a look at another font here that we can potentially use. Let's see what we can come up with. You guys see anything that you like? Now, I don't really like the black. I think maybe burgundy would look nicer. See, what we can do here is we can change the color. Okay, so I'm going to highlight it, click on text color. Okay, and let's say if I select, say if I pick this one here, right? And
is there a way you can match it to the other color that was already used on the page?
Yeah.
If it's
like this color here?
Yeah.
One shade lighter.
You know what? I kind of like this color, but I want to make real money online in 14 days or less. I want to make it stand out. Okay, so I can do that, and I can pick maybe a slightly lighter, and let's see how that's going to look. So this color kind of matches the rest of the page here, okay? And then this matches more of the arrow. So we can play with this. It gives you guys an idea, right? It gives you an idea what you can do with it. Gives you an idea what you can do with it. Here is my recommendation, okay, for you. As you're watching this, be a good modeler. Okay, don't necessarily copy word for word. Use whatever, use your imagination. Like, what would get your attention? If you don't resonate with this headline, that's fine. Use your imagination, and what would you resonate with? Okay, play with it. Create different versions of it. You want to have a landing page that, that's not, just like everybody else's landing page. We're going to teach you how to build, this kind of stuff from scratch, literally from a blank template, from a blank clean slate. And we're going to do that inside of the, Elite membership. But for now, I want to give you enough ideas, right, and kind of put you on a road that you can follow to build this stuff for yourself. Now, for my pre-headline, here's what I can say. I can say something like this. What if I said, oh, this is my preview. I can edit this one, right? All right, so I'm just going to double click on it. I'm going to say attention, okay? And then what if I said in the next 2 minutes, you will discover. Okay, And we can make, look what we can do here. We can make attention. What if we made that, I want to do, I think we can match the fonts there too. What was this font again, Mark?
That was Oswald.
Oswald. See, all we're doing right now, my friend, is we're just, we are editing, right? And we're just being creative here. We're just, you know, designing this how we want it to look like. Hey, oh, I think I just maybe saw that one somewhere. There it is. Okay. Now let's see if I made this, maybe in the next 2 minutes you will discover. Okay, maybe I can do the same color on this one as well. Let's see how it's going to look in actual preview. Okay. What do you think?
I don't know if I'm crazy about the box around the text on top, the yellow box.
So the highlight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We can play with it. We can remove it, and all you need to do to remove it is by, oh, this is preview. Okay. Here, and we can go automatic and going to remove it. Okay. The idea here is we don't know how well it's going to convert until we start running it, right? So we want to get it good enough to get the traffic to it, and then we're going to be optimizing it as we're going. Okay, we're going to be optimizing it as we're going together. Now, here's my sub-headline, right? So for my sub-headline, somebody says, okay, so project breakthrough, how to very easily start earning, you know, real money online in 14 days or less. Now, next, somebody's going to be like, okay, we'll consult our, you know, our worksheet, you know, same thing, campaign blueprint. See, that's why it's important. We're going to be circling back to this. What's our customer's biggest challenge? Well, they're overwhelmed, you know, they don't have a step-by-step system, you know, we agreed on, right? And then they don't have, you know, they're just getting started, so they're perhaps working for somebody else. Here's what my sub-headline could say, okay? It could be something like, maybe I can put it in parentheses, I can say, even if you're on a budget or have never made a dime online before.
That's good.
You like that? So this will talk to the person, and he'll be like, I've never done this before. I don't know if I can do this. Boom, that line is going to hook him again, right? See, the whole idea behind this page is to get people to opt in, give you their email, and get to your list and move to the next step.
Right.
Okay. Now here is my what I call the benefit or engagement statement. This is where we can further, you know, hook them, right, and further kind of pick their curiosity and their interest. And I can say something like this. I can tell them a little bit more about Project Breakthrough, perhaps, and I can say something like, you know, an online phenomenon called, and we'll teach you guys all about copywriting and that kind of stuff. I just wanted to, you know, walk you through this as I'm thinking through this, right? So you can kind of get the, you know, what's going on in my head. You guys are brand new, so you will learn about copywriting and everything. We're teaching this in the HTA Academy and Elite. You'll learn all this stuff, right? How to write compelling copy. Same thing for you, my friend. You know, just I wanted to put you on a path for you to start thinking about ideas, right, and how you can possibly create landing pages for yourself. I can say something like, okay, so online phenomenon called Project Breakthrough is taking the internet. Oops, I don't want it to be all caps. I just wanted to emphasize Project Breakthrough. Is taking the internet by storm, allowing average, ordinary people with no prior experience, I can put that in parentheses here, to earn real money online in as soon as 14 days flat. How you guys like that? How do you guys like that one?
Just correct your spelling on ordinary.
On ordinary. Let's see, ordinary. Okay, we're good.
I like it.
Industries. first true step-by-step guide. Okay, and look what I can do here. I can emphasize this. You know, Jason yesterday he was telling you about the 1 second rule, right? Remember that? Like when you close your eyes, when you look at the page and you close, you know, you look at the page for a second, you close your eyes, and then what do you see? What do you remember, right? Well, we can emphasize certain things and certain words and phrases on the page. For example, the subtle change in the font color, even though it's a similar, you know, it's the same font color family, right? The subtle change, even if we don't catch it consciously, our subconscious mind catches it, right? And so it's embedded commands, you know, as they call it, you know, in the space. Same thing with these lines. So if I close my eyes, boom, you know, sometimes even if my conscious mind doesn't catch it, my subconscious mind will pick it up. Okay. All right. Now, so far so good, right? You guys with me? You, my friend, with me? Okay, making sense? You going along? Let's continue. All right, so we are progressing. Now, we got our, you know, we have our engagement statement here. Now, this is our call to action headline. For this particular, you know, I like this layout. It's very, very simple. It's elegant. It's to the point. You know, it's a letter based. So my call to action headline could be something like, I can say, you know, 100%, because Project Breakthrough is 100% free. People don't have to pay anything, right? So I can emphasize that. You know, so if somebody goes to the copy, and I want to put myself in my prospect's shoes, right? If I was my own prospect, if I was going through this, I'd be like, dude, this is awesome. I want to have it. How much is it going to cost me, right? So I want to immediately diffuse that thought by saying, hey, it's going to be 100% free enrollment. All right. Okay. See what I'm saying here? So I just immediately diffuse that thought, right? Potentially. And here is my call to action paragraph. Now this is optional. I don't have to do this. I can, you know, but as I like to have a flow to my funnel, right? I like to have the flow to the page. So, okay, 100% free enrollment. If I can put something, insert something in there, I might as well do that, right? Otherwise, it might look a little off. I can remove this box altogether, and by, you know, if I wanted to remove this section, all I can do is just see this. I can grab it, I click it, drag it to the left in the red, and it's going to be gone. Right? Simple as that. But I want to leave it here. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and type it up. I'm going to say something like this. I'm going to say enter. Enter. This is just my call to action. Okay, if I wanted to sell them on this again, right? I'm going to say enter your email address in the form below, and I will send you free instant access to Project Breakthrough. So we're basically we're basically reinforcing the message again here, right? That will show you how to start earning real money online in the next 14 days or less. Okay, and of course this is a little bit lengthy, so I can change the font here. Let's see if I did that same font as in headline, and just made it non-bold. How would that look like? You know, Jason talked to you about the, you know, aesthetics of the landing page, right? So for me, it's you know, I like to see that stuff being handled. Okay, this. Let's take a look at how this will look in preview. Just not bad. I could probably make this maybe even smaller font, so that I don't go past the these lines here of the actual headline. Okay. Let's see if I go 16. Okay. Sometimes, you know, I deliberately want to have, if I have like a big bold headline or 100% free enrollment, and then people, okay, will be like, okay, so what's the catch, right? What's the catch? And then they're looking for the fine print. And sometimes if I do, you know, a small font here, then it will kind of force them to read it because they're looking for that fine print, like what's the catch here, and that's how I can take them through the process even further, right? So here they're going to enter their email address. The button is great. I'm going to keep it there. Additional information, you know what, I'm going to use this opportunity. See, it's got a fine print in there, right? It's small, tiny letters. But here's what I'm going to say. Usually, this is my opportunity to get people to give me their actual good email instead of their fake email. Mm-hmm. How do I prevent as many of the fake emails to be entered, right? Well, I got to talk to the person in a way that that would make him want to give me his real email. Mm-hmm. Make sense? You get me? Okay, it makes sense, right? Here's how I'm going to do this. One of the strategies, and I like to implement this in all of my landing pages, I say something like this. I can say I put an asterisk, and I can put this. This is 100% free service, okay? Because Project Breakthrough is free, right? I can say no credit card is required, because that's true. Mm-hmm. And then here's my magic line. Information will be sent to the email address provided above. See how I just did there, Mark?
Okay, so would this be like a double opt-in where you'd send them a link to have them or do it again, or you just want to verify?
No.
Okay.
I just do this. You don't have to do a double opt-in on here. This is a psychological thing, because if I send, if they read this, and most people will read this, because it's like the fine print, like what's the catch, right? So I just told them, hey, this is a free service, no credit card required. Typically, in the fine print, it would say, this is, going to cost you this, whatever, right? Here, I'm just going the opposite direction. I'm going to say information will be sent to the email address provided above, so he will think twice about entering fake email there. Okay. That strategy works really, really well. Mm-hmm.